In few weeks, a work of uncommon intellectual courage will emerge into public discourse, one that refuses the comfortable evasions of our time. The Monstrosity of Our Century, The War on Palestine and the Last Western Man by Amir Nour, is not merely another book on geopolitics. It is a meticulously crafted indictment of our era's moral failures, written by a scholar who commands both Western and Eastern intellectual traditions with equal mastery. A rare convergence of erudition and clarity. What distinguishes Nour's work is its singular ability to synthesize divergent scholarly traditions into a coherent analytical framework. Drawing from sources that span continents and civilizations, he constructs an argument that exposes the mechanisms of division, confessional, ethnocultural, deployed systematically to fragment resistance to structural injustice. Late Dr. Ahmed Taleb Ibrahimi, Algeria's former foreign minister, praised the book's judicious choice of carefully documented writings by authoritative authors and the sagacity of the analysis. This is scholarship at its finest, rigorous, unflinching, and profoundly relevant. The unraveling of moral authority. Perhaps the book's most significant contribution lies in its documentation of a historic shift, the erosion of the West's self-proclaimed moral authority. Dr. Chas W. Freeman Jr., formerly U.S. Assistant Secretary of Defense for International Security Affairs and Ambassador to Saudi Arabia, acknowledges that Nour eloquently and unflinchingly shows how the course of events has discredited the moral authority of the West and devalued international law. This is not polemic, but observation, backed by evidence that even architects of Western policy cannot ignore. The author reveals how principles universally proclaimed have been selectively applied, breeding a global order now teetering toward transformation. Beyond binary narratives, Dr. Ramzi Baroud praises Nour's bold and refreshing critique for challenging the dangerous us versus them mentality that has dominated political discourse. By situating regional crises within genuinely global contexts, Nour liberates history from ethnocentric provincialism, offering instead what Baroud calls a more equitable global history. Hassan Janabi, former Iraqi minister and ambassador, notes that the book exposes the signs of the project's failure becoming clear, while documenting the devastating human cost paid over 7 decades. The work connects dots that official narratives prefer remain scattered, stripping away illusions. As I wrote in my own assessment, neither to accuse the West nor defend the East, Nour's book returns the human to center stage after being marginalized in his own story. The author strips our age of its borrowed virtues and moral disguises, revealing it as it truly is. No reader should look away, because truth, as this work demonstrates persuasively, has never been what we think we see. It is what the powers that be can no longer conceal. A work that demands attention. The Monstrosity of Our Century, The War on Palestine and the Last Western Man, arrives at a pivotal moment when old certainties crumble and new configurations of power emerge. It offers not easy answers, but the intellectual tools necessary to comprehend complexity honestly. This is essential reading for anyone seeking to understand the forces reshaping our world. Policymakers who value strategic clarity, journalists committed to contextualized reporting, scholars pursuing rigorous analysis, and citizens refusing superficial narratives. Amir Nour has produced that rarest of works, one that challenges conventional wisdom not through rhetoric but through evidence, that disturbs not to provoke but to illuminate. The Monstrosity of Our Century, The War on Palestine and the Last Western Man, deserves the widest possible readership and the serious engagement it demands. A book that refuses complicity, an analysis that restores clarity.